People trying to get it in. People gonna try to do something different from the weapons. And here we go. Oh, let's see. Let me duplicate this. You know what? No. This has to be here. Let me duplicate this though. But I was sitting up here watching this chick. She was playing that Valhalla game from what's it called, Assassin's Creed. And I was like, yo, like first before I even seen her video, um, I saw this one dude play it, and I was like, this looks like nah, nah. So so when I was looking at it, I was like, nah, there's no way, cause this felt like it just looked like this was Ubisoft's answer to to God of War. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, nah, this game, it just looked like, no, I couldn't see myself playing this. And it's just like while I'm looking at it, cause I saw a homegirl play it. Then I messaged her like in the comments. I was like, how many more protagonists we gonna keep seeing that's always using a bow and arrow? And I just feel like it's been done to death. Just doing the same thing all the time with these games. And it's just like it's always like the settlement crap, this WS history, always fighting for resources. And it's like, why do they always make these characters look dirty all the time? Like dirty and they got hair full of lice. Like they just look like nah. Like it's like it seems like they don't wash their ass. Now, how long has it been since you washed your ass? And I'm like, nah, bro. And then it's like, it's basically like how the chick was playing. It was like if Aloy and Kratos had a kid. Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn and Kratos had a kid, and it's just like, it's like nah. It just looked like trash. Oh shit. And I'm like, I couldn't play that game. And even this one dude, he was sitting up there talking about it, and it was just like I could see why people have this kind of thing about Assassin's Creed in the first place. Like I said, I could just tell a game and know I'm not gonna like it. I've been playing games for over 30 years. This year will be 31 years. And I could just tell when a game is trash. I mean, I could just tell. Like I don't need to know nothing else. It's like, oh, and sure enough, I mean it is. You know what? Never mind. I don't need to do all that. My man, dude, select this. Oh my god. I'm like, bro. I mean, it's just the same thing. Fighting for. I hate when, especially these reviewers be saying that shit. Fighting for resources and all this. It just makes it seem like doing it in the game is the equivalent of doing this shit in the real world. And if they did that in the real world, they'd be crying back home trying to suck on their mama's titties or something. It's like, dude, it's like you ain't built for this. It's like, come on, bro. Oh, come on. Stop doing that. Do I have to do this the long way? It seems like, you know what? Fuck it. How many braids this man got? He got like 1, 2, 3. You know what? Yeah. So it's just like, let me just add some extra ones just in case. But but it's just like, nah, I couldn't see myself playing that game. Cause it just feels like it's the same thing over and over again with this. And it is just like I just have that feeling that it's just gonna be like the same thing of just like all these other games. And like again, like how many times are we gonna keep getting like protagonists that's using bows and arrows? Like I said, I don't know if I said this in a video that I deleted, but it's like they keep you like it's like one person did something and then they thought it was cool and then they all did the same thing, like hiding in tall grass, throwing rocks to distract the enemy. Like you hide and you throw the enemy the the object so the enemy could be like, what's that? And then you like then all this stealth bullshit. Like, come on, man. I mean, it's just like what happened to just fighting face to face. It's like you got to take the cowardly way. I sneak up on somebody and stabbing them in the neck. Like, just fight me like a man, but you won't because it's just straight bullshit. Oh my god. See, I did this. Going to this thing here. I did this a couple times, and I'm like, and it was a while back, like over a month, and I was cool. So I was like, nah, it's just all of a sudden I'm fucking this up. Oh, I see why I'm fucking up. Yeah, I see exactly why I'm fucking up. I see exactly why I'm fucking up. But but yeah, it's like this. It's the same thing over and over again. It's like nobody's doing nothing new bringing nothing new to the table. And it's just like I said, why all these protagonists always got to look dirty all the time? And then you know what? Then it I was thinking about this one video I saw a long time ago. Well, it wasn't that long. It wasn't really that long, but it was this dude, and he said something to the effect like, about the video game industry. How? Wait, I'm trying to think how he phrased the question, or how he phrased the He was like, if you want to break into this industry, it's hard, to have like new ideas because we've heard or seen, like it's like you have to bring, like everything has been done under the sun. So it's like it's like saying, like he said, we seen everything. So what's going to separate you from like the pack, basically? And it's like, no, bro, you didn't see everything. You didn't see everything because you're doing the same thing all the time. That's why you feel like you haven't seen nothing. That's really different. Because it's like you keep relying on the same like archetypes all the time, and you're not bringing nothing new to the table. So that's why, like, basically you're saying that. Yeah, I gotta get the hang of this, man. Damn. So it's just like, no, all this stuff like this Valhalla. I mean, it's all this Vanguard bullshit. It's just all this these dirty looking characters. It's like that's not making yourself look cool. And then it's just like this Iceland type place. It's like this don't look appealing. It's like ice and rock. I mean, you ain't. It's like it's visually unappealing. Wait, let me go back. Like I said, it's just visually unappealing, and it just looks like garbage. And they swear they doing something. And then hearing like this one dude talking about like it's boring, the game is long. I'm like, see, and then you got people be like, how do you know if you never played it? But again, I've played games long enough to know what I like and don't like. And I could just tell that was like I said, I never played none of the Assassin's Creed games. But it's just like, if it's any indication of this, it's like I'm not that big of a fan of Ubisoft to begin with, because they have some questionable motives and questionable games. So I'm definitely not playing them, no. It's just too crazy. But see, on another note, see, this is what I'm saying about this whole thing. I'm trying to concentrate. Because, like, I think the last time I did these braids was, like, had to been at the end of September. And I did it, like, a few times. Haven't done it since. Until now, to try to, like, get away from, like, working on these weapons. But, But yeah, going to the whole thing, it's just like it's just like if there was a trend If somebody did something new and they was like on some new shit, then you'll have all these video game companies clearly copying off of that thing, and then it'll be like everybody's doing it, and then it cheapens the whole thing, because it's just like you just can't let this one thing be on its own, like on some original shit, and just let it be. It's like you gotta keep, everybody gotta keep copying. Like I said, like with the tall grass thing, one dumb nutsack did it. It's like, okay, that's cool, but then now you got everybody else doing it. Like, it's trash at this point. Like, it just couldn't be like his own novel thing. That's cool. And that, even if another person copied, then it's like, okay, that's all right. Okay, they copied. That's cool. But it's just too many of them doing the exact same thing. It's, oh, come on, dude. It's just like there's no originality in it anymore. I mean, it's just it's just the same thing over and over again. Because so many people thought it was cool. And that whole, like, and then another thing, it feels like this Vanguard game, it feels like if Kratos and Aloy from God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn had a kid, and Gerald from what's the game everybody likes, The Witcher, was her cousin, like, you know, their cousin, and it's set in the Game of Thrones era. I mean, it's just all like an amalgamation of all this stuff, and it's like, wow. It's like they just be sitting there just basically eating and biting off of other people's stuff. Like, I mean, it's one thing if you get inspired by something, but you just, it's just way too much though. Like, and it just looks forced that you copied off of like Game of Thrones and The Witcher and all this. It's just, it's just way too much, and it's like, dude, like, stop. Like I said, it's one thing if you're inspired by somebody or inspired by a particular thing, but I mean, it's just like too many of y'all doing the same thing. It was just like, it was almost like kind of a running gag that it was like all these like redheaded like protagonists, like dude with Kyle from the Star Wars game, and Aloy, and it was somebody else, like the homegirl from Control. Like, I have no problem with it, but again, though, like, you're seeing one dude make a game like that, and it's like, oh, that's the trend, and they just hop on it, and not trying to like go against the grain and be like, yo, I'm gonna be on my own shit. I'm gonna just do something different. And it's not even like an homage to it. It's just like, you're not, I mean, it's like you're not bringing nothing new to the table. I mean, this Valhalla game could literally be like a side story to Game of Thrones. And believe you me, all these games and TV shows, like all this Walking Dead bullshit and all these survival horror games, like, I would say I played Horizon Zero Dawn. I never watched Game of Thrones or The Last of Us, and none of that crap. And like The Division, if you could consider that like I mean, there's a survival game, but is it horror though? I don't know. But it's just like, at a certain point, it's like, dude, stop. Like, for real, dude, just stop. Cause it just looked like there's no creativity whatsoever in dude in the game industry. It was, I don't know who he is, but he had on glasses and I think he had a brown suit. He looked like a nerdy dude. And he was saying that. I was like, okay, but you're not talking to anybody with any fresh ideas. You're talking to the same nutsacks in the industry, repeating the same thing. And it's like, wow. And then got the nerve to be like, there's nothing fresh or you gotta stand out and stuff. It is like, okay, I mean, talk to the people then. Oh, and then yesterday, my ass sat up there and tried to find the PlayStation 5, and guess what? Didn't find it. Because they was like, oh, you gotta go on the app to find it. And you know, here's the crazy thing. They was like, okay, get on the app to find it. But when you get on like the Walmart's app or Amazon, it's just they're selling the controller. Like, cause even I got the PlayStation in my wish list, and they're just selling the controller. Like I see the console, but again, it's just in the wish list. Like it's like I see the picture of the console in the wish list, but when you click it, it's just you selling the controller. Like, what is this? And I knew that was gonna happen. Not only for me, like I knew our Lady Luck wasn't gonna be on my side, but it was just like that for everybody. And I'm like, see, I knew I wasn't gonna find it. And then it just like, you know what? If PlayStation wanna be like that, then it's just like fuck it. It's like I get it when I get it. I'm not even excited or like really like, oh, I gotta go out there and get it now at this point. It's just like I get it when I get it. I mean, it just took the sting out of like the excitement at this point. Damn, you know what? I should have. Fuck it. Like I said, it just takes the excitement out of it. Cause I could have been excited about it if I got it yesterday. Like, oh shit, I got the PlayStation. Cause I just bought the camera, and now I'm trying to get the PlayStation. Now it's like, nah. So it's like even because what's the day's date? The November 11th. It's not gonna be in the stores anytime soon. So it's like at this point, it's just like in November, it's not gonna be around. It's just like fuck it, I just get it in January. Like I said, it's like at this point, I just get it when I get it. And plus, people are even saying like there's no games out for it anyway, because they pushed back like what Cyberpunk to December 10th. And even still, I'm not even looking at Cyberpunk like I'm really excited about it because there's no third person. So it's like at that point, same thing. Like I just whenever I get it, I get it. Now if there was on some third person shit, then I'll be excited about it. You know what I mean? But it's just like right now, like I'm just cruising. I'm cruising, just doing my own thing. Like, and That's basically honestly occupying me and my time. Cause dude talking about, oh, there's nothing new, or like what's gonna make you stand out. Like all somebody has to do is refer him to what I'm doing, and then just holler at me. That's all you gotta do. Just holler at me. If you want some new shit, but you won't come over here. You know what I mean? Cause it's just like you're gonna just keep relying on the same people over and over again, keep feeding you the same bullshit over and over again. And that's honestly why you're in the predicament you're in. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to duplicate this a few more times, just just in case. So it's just like, and somebody will be like, "Oh, bro, you never played God of War?" No, I never even played the ones on the PlayStation 2. I never played that. I mean, and it's like I would have, you know what I mean? Because it's like the hack and slash stuff is kind of like cool. You know, I like those kind of games. It's not bad, but especially with this one now and how society is, and it's just like fuck that, man. Like I said, it's just like fucking dude. I gotta change the names to all these because it's on a different. Like this is on his brother's braids. Cause I'm not working on, yeah. And then I noticed something. I didn't put enough subdivisions in between. I mean, it's not like a bad thing. It's not like crippling or nothing. Yeah, it's not. It's not bad. I mean, it's an easy fix. Yeah, see, there was like a. Come on, dude. Cause I wasn't even thinking about it like that. See, like that. Come on, no subdivisions, man. Where's the whatchamacallit at? Which one am I working on, dude? Yeah, I have to get used to doing this over again, man. Cause it was like when I first did it, I was like, cause it was like, you know, even working on this, trying to be like, oh, I'm trying to figure this out, and it was just frustrating. Then I found this one dude, and he was on some real shit, and I was ecstatic about it. Like, okay, finally. And then, cause these braids are like some, I mean, they're like important to the characters themselves, you know, but it's like it wouldn't be the characters if I couldn't do this. And it's more like a traditional thing for them, you know, because like they came up with their own traditions and whatnot, and it just wouldn't be the characters if I couldn't do this. But it's not like important to the main story, it's just important to their story. And so it was like when I first finally learned how to do this, it was like, yes. And then I just walked away from it and was doing other stuff and never came back to it. And now it's like I'm struggling, like for real, for real. But now I'm getting my bearings back. And it's like one of the last, like the few steps to this is kind of like tricky. It's like real tricky. Because it's like one chick, she was like, oh, you got to do it this way, but then her way really wasn't the way to do it. But this dude, I mean, he was on some real shit, and I'm glad this man came through with it. All right. And then there's like other people have their own thing, but it's like they talk about this step, but they never talk about like the last part to make it really look cool. The only way this step is like the only way you could get away with this step if you're doing like a low poly like model for somebody. But if you're doing like some other like some realistic characters, like you need the last few steps to get by with. See, and I needed this last one. Like I said, then I gotta change the name. This better not fuck up the shit. Wait, man, let me go to object. Cause I wasn't even paying attention. You know what? Never mind that. Y'all wasn't even paying attention. This is gonna take a while. But anyway, and I'm looking on Instagram, and I'm like, people got the PlayStation and whatnot. But like I said, it just made me feel like, oh, if PlayStation want to add these, like play these games, it's just like, whatever, man. Just it's honestly whatever. Like, you want to play that, then my wallet's gonna be playing that then. Cause I mean, as crazy as this might sound, I'm looking towards the PlayStation 8 or 9. You know what I'm saying? To put my stuff out there. Let me save this, cause now I gotta find where that main braid is. Oh yeah, then I gotta hold up. I gotta organize this. Where is the main one at? Wait, is it? No, it's not that. Seven. Word. This is not attached to nothing. And five. Yeah, I gotta renumber these things. Cause like I said, I was just too focused on trying to get these braids right. I miscounted the whole thing, but Damn, man. I'm just. All right. Woo-wee. On some real shit. Alright, let me save this. Jeez Louise. Make sure I got my main braid there. And I need to put these on category. Like in his own collection. Now, see, and it's like when this happens, it's for some reason it gets shorter. And that's one thing I didn't like about that. Because it's not, it would return. Like in some weird way, like back to his original position or something. But these remain cool. See, like I said, this is like, this takes some concentration on some real shit. Nah, dude. Oh, wow. See? I almost fucked that up. I was about to go forward with it. Until I caught that. Like I said, for some reason it shortens it. And I'm like, bro. Nope. No, what's my man saying? Oh yeah, cause um yeah, GTA they doing like this $1 billion challenge. Like no, how much is it? $100 billion challenge, something like that. Like that's extreme. I mean, but if it's everybody in the community and everybody does it, I mean, that's achievable, ain't it? I mean, all these billions of people or millions of people that got GTA. I mean, that's achievable, right? I mean, I think it's achievable. Everybody got in, and then my man, he said challenge accepted. So it's like, all right, dude. I mean, I'm with him. He'll be fucked up if I was about to say it'd be fucked up if this crashed on me. I mean, it'll be real bad. It'll be fucked up. Cause like I said, I only experience crashing when you switch from one particle edit to another object with particle edit, and that those particles have like blue edges, and then if you try to save it, it crashes. But that's the only time I experience crashes in this. Other than that, this is pretty cool. But um wait, there's a let me zero. No, that's fucked up. I hate to use yeah, I knew that wasn't gonna act right. I mean, the only thing left really is to like do his like hair in the middle. I mean, that's pretty much it right there. After that, and I'm sitting up at the same time looking at my phone, texting my guy about this whole challenge thing. I mean, he's like I said, it's possible, especially the way we work. Cause we be doing like, cause this only on the finale though. I mean, yeah, the whole thing. I mean, yeah, like, dude, I think it's possible to do all this like they say. Yeah, $100 billion. Wow. No, this is too big. Oh, what is it? What is it? Yeah, my man is seriously sitting up there trying to do this, and it's for like a week. I think it, like I said, I think it's honestly possible though. But he's ready. And it's like, when did they say this shit was? Cause I gotta make sure so I could be ready for it. Cause usually I'm not playing it as much, as cause usually I be playing it at night and like I used to. Then I be sleepy nowadays. Oh, where was it? Da, 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 da. Oh, by August, I guess from now to August 18th. Yeah. Well, that must have been yesterday, because usually they had like updates on Thursday. Something like that. Anyway, anyway. So we're about to get it cracking, try to get this, do this $1 billion challenge and see what's up. Wait, before I even do that, cause I need to duplicate this. Like I said, this takes so much concentration. Cause I'm up here trying to do some real shit. And then I gotta refer to my reference picture to the actual hairstyle this came from. Let me see my man. Nah, I can't find him. Damn, where did he go, bro? Where is this dude? Oh, here he is. But anyway, but it's like these games that they be like coming out with, they need some type of like, I don't know. Like it's like nobody's doing anything like on some fresh new shit. It's like the same old shit repackaged to try to make people believe it's new. And it's like it's like, nah, dude, this is not the lick. And that's why people feel like that's why then nowadays it's hard. Like not saying that this important, but damn, all my shit was unchecked. It's hard trying to please people. I mean, you can't please everybody, but I mean, too many people are just like, you see these videos and you'd be like, they all basically like tired of it, of the game that they're playing. It's just too much stuff that, and it's like these companies are doing the wrong thing. They ain't listening to nobody. In my opinion, I don't think they're listening to anybody. Cause it's just like if you were, you would have changed a lot of stuff. And it's just like even with certain games, like I remember when people was like about the division, they would talk about the bullet sponge enemies and everything. Like we tired of the bullet sponge. And so in two, they technically got rid of them, but all they did was split like for every one dude in the first one is two per one bullet sponge in the first one. So all they did was just cut him in half and made him two people. So you're technically fighting the same thing. It's just two people now. Then they easily creeped up the bullet sponge in the later updates. Cause I remember like the Black Tusk never had one of those healing stations like the Reclaimer. But I think after a certain point they put them in there. Where they rejuvenate their health. At least it's not as bad as one when you gotta basically use all four people to focus on like whoever's like being healed and take them out. It's not that bad, but it's kind of like still, dude. You basically brought them back when people was seriously like, no, stop doing this. But they did it anyway because it's like they don't care. See, and for this dude's him not doing his like band that wraps around his ponytail. I'm gonna have to do that later because for me, I don't know if I want to like just have it a plain rubber band or try to design something just for him. You know, for style for his. Like I'm not sure. So I'm not saying I'm gonna leave my man like this. But I'm going to leave it. Like leave this. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this like that though. But see, my man's hair is like real thick. Like right here, like not the ponytail, but see, even this is too much. But anyway, about this whole thing about these games and shit, it's like I don't have no desire to play God of War 2 because I never played the first one, so I wouldn't be playing that. And it's like it's no shade at the companies that make these games either. There's no shade. Like I was saying, at a certain age, you get to a certain point and be like somebody, some of these people like real young dudes and they down to play all this new shit. But at a certain point, it's just like I'm old and cynical, and it's kind of like I'm just too selective at it. Like I'm just too selective of what I'll play and put my time into. Like even with Final Fantasy VII, like the remake, I mean, I played the original when it came out. So I was gonna be down for that. But if it was like a new game, like a whole new title, who knows? But it's just like, and then it would just be like, even with the whole thing, like I don't know if I'll be into like, cause I never played the original God of Wars to jump into this story. Like now, if I played the originals back in the day, then it would be a different story. It would have been a whole different story. I would have been like, oh, okay. But since that never happened, it's just like, whatever. And trust me, I thought like the original stories back in the day, like when they first came out for like what PlayStation 2, I thought it was an interesting looking game. But it's just like at a certain point, it's like, nah, I missed out on it then. Like I said, no shade at the companies per se. Like I said, it's only two companies that I'm not really fond of, and that's basically Ubisoft and Capcom. But but Monster Hunter, I enjoyed that like surprisingly for some reason. But then I played it enough. But then after a while, these monsters are just too much. It's just like fucking. I'm not chasing this bitch all around this map and he hit you twice and that's the end of it. I ain't feeling no. I mean, like I said, I played it long enough and it was like, okay, like if they made a Monster Hunter World 2, I would buy that. But like all the Resident Evils and Street Fighters, like I haven't played Resident Evil since when it was on PlayStation. And I never beat it. I played it over my friend's house. What's the thing? Oh, that's fun to doing the wrong thing. No, you know what? Cause I see something that is doing wrong. Yeah. I mean, I could really leave it at that and just do like between the hair, between the braids. But it's like the more I look at this dude's picture, The more I look at this dude's picture, I'm like, no, I should really try to fix this. Cause the back of his hair is curlier than the top. Hmm. You know what? All right, fuck it then. I just do this over again. But this time, I am going to duplicate. I gotta make sure I remember which part I'm deleting, which part I'm keeping. This side. I mean, it just seems like wavy and curly almost produce the same results. I know this. I know it's different. And even braid to a certain degree a little bit. But see, but doing this, I mean, kind of doing this as I go. And then you don't really need to be like, I mean, it's just a thing that I do. Like, I'm not trying to, you don't have to make the hair fall exactly right while you're doing this, because you have to do like some weight paint to keep certain like hairs from like moving from the rest of them. Like, it's almost like if you're doing like the roots of the hair, they should be red, generally speaking. Like, I mean, obvious. They have, because the roots have to stay in place. But like, depending on how, like, if you're doing like anime hair and it's supposed to be stuck in a certain position, it's like most of it is red. Maybe like the tips will be like green or yellow or something. So they could move a little bit, but like the braids will have to be red. The hair, like maybe like I said, the roots and maybe the subdivisions after the roots would be red, but mostly everything else would be like blue or yellow or something like that. This is not supposed to be like stiff or have like this hard surface or something. So, but I just do it just for the look. I mean, I'm increasing this by like 20, but I mean, there's really no different. Let's see. Because this is how dude's hair in the reference picture look like. See, and then one dude, like I was saying about like the whole cyberpunk thing, and like you can't see your character after you created it because it's in first person. And dude, see, this is the thing about people on online, because it's like dude was saying like, oh, you want to play dress up with the character, but it's like, okay, if that wasn't the case, they shouldn't put a creative character on it. In, I mean, just have it like Deus Ex through the whole time. Just like this, you could pick a female or male protagonist. It should be like whatever they give you, and then just rock with it. But you giving people an option to create it, and you can't see them most of the time. Like if you're not in cutscene or in a vehicle, you're just walking around, just doing whatever. I mean, most of the time you can't see like, okay, I messed up this, and then coming from my point of view, I'm a character designer. Like I create characters and coming up with clothes to fit that particular character. Like that's my thing, and especially getting into 3D modeling, motherfucker. I mean, playing dress up is part of the thing, basically. And then they try to be witty, like, oh, you just want to play dress up. It's like, bitch, again. Okay, like even this, I had to put a box on them. Because I don't know, like I said, I don't know how Twitch, I don't know if they're going to be tweaking or not. Even though you don't see anything, but just for the sake of argument, I had to put this box on my man. But I have to create his style of clothes. And then I'm doing all this and be like, oh, my game is in first person. So what the fuck I do all this for? I mean, just have a floating gun in the middle of the screen then. And just like when you see an item you should select, it just comes to you. You don't see the hand grabbing, you don't see nothing. It's just there it is. I mean, I'm doing all this for what? Like I said, this is part of the thing. See, but they don't know. They just gamers, and they don't know what, you know what I mean. I mean, this particular dude I'm talking about. I mean, if you offended, I mean, hit dogs holler. I mean, I don't even talk about everybody, but I'm just saying this in this particular guy that said what he said in the comment section about my shit. He don't know where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? So sit your ass down and just be a bitch in the comment section saying shit. But yeah, this is the dude. Like I said, after all this time, yeah, I still got a bug in my ass about Cyberpunk not being in third. Cause I just feel like they did, if they, like I said, if they're worrying about like them being compared to GTA, like this is GTA in the future, again, nobody would have cared. Like if this in the future, it's, at least that would be the thing to be different. Like, oh, it's okay, it's GTA, but at least it's in the future. And then the last game that Rockstar came out with is Red Dead Redemption. And I'm sitting there playing this game and I'm like, yo, this is boring. Like if it would have been an exciting version. Like people would have clearly forgot about Red Dead Redemption, even though it's not in the same time period, not the same universe, not the same company. But it's like people say GTA set the standard. It's like this gold standard of like open world games. And I really think if Cyberpunk would have made it in third person, people would have been looking at Cyberpunk like, oh shit, I think Rockstar got a rival. Because some people tried to rival, like a lot of people forgot. Like people don't remember True Crime Streets in LA and True Crime Streets in New York. When True Crimes came out, it was like, okay, this could rival GTA. Cause I think San Andreas was I think it was between Vice City and San Andreas. Because in San Andreas they made fun of them called True Grimes. It was a billboard next to the train station. And San Andreas came out in '04. See, so the True Crimes New York came out, and that's they was people didn't like that, in my opinion, for obvious reasons. Because I don't know, for obvious reasons, and and then Saints Row was making the games, and it was like trying to be funny. It just felt like, especially with Saints Row the third and Saints Row 4, it just felt like a horny 13-year-old dude made that game. And it was like they fell off. So if it was like a rival to Rockstar and GTA, CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk would have been it if it was in third person. Or just have a switch. It could have just been standard. It could have just been an option. Like, it would have already default been in first person. And then you could go into the options to make it third. Or like press the trackpad, the interaction menu, and it would have just switched the camera. Nobody would have complained. In my opinion. People do like first. I'm not even shitting on them if they do. Like, okay, you like first. I mean, to each his own. I don't care if you like first or whatever. I mean, it's supposed to be a free country. I mean, you like what you want. If you like first, you like first. Some people like both. I don't particularly like first person. But it's just the whole thing about like Mike Pondsmith. Like I said, I'll support the brother, and he's actually made like a cool ass product. I mean, Cyberpunk, like I said, is up my alley. Johnny Mnemonic in '95. That was the first time I was introduced to like the cyberpunk world. And then they put the guy in Johnny Mnemonic, Keanu Reeves, in the shit. So it was like, come on. When he came on stage, I mean, I was when they said it was in first, I got disappointed. I'm like, why would you do this, dude? And I was like, nah, fam. I was like, fuck that. And I really wanted to support the game, though. Like, it, in my anger, it wasn't anger though. In my frustration, I would say, I was mad that they made it in first person, and I was like, but I will buy it just to support Mike Pondsmith, but never play the game. But then Keanu Reeves got on stage, and I looked at that shit and was like, I have no choice but to buy this shit now and play it. You know what I'm saying? Just to see my man. And he's Johnny Silverhand too. I'm like, I don't know. It's just like it is putting me in a bind. It's like walking on hot coals, but there's like $5 million at the end of it or something. It's like, come on, fam. Like, I don't want the bottom of my feet to burn, but it's $5 million at the end of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's technically how I feel about it. It's like, damn. Oh boy. I'm like, dude. But that's how they got me. That's how they got me. Anyway, I'm about to do these sides real Well, that's not gonna be quick. Wait, which one is this? Let me see these ends. Now with these ends, I don't want to go through the whole series of weight painting it though. But I gotta turn these off. I mean, they should be cool. Cause you ain't gonna see this part anyway. Nah, fam, whoa. What did I do? See, like I said, dude, he weight painted this. But I'm not gonna do the weight paint. I'm not saying it's not necessary. I mean, cause some people know what to do with that weight paint. Oh shit. See, for me, it's just too much stuff to learn. Like doing this, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, then it's like the weight paint is fairly easy, but it's just here we go with something else, basically. And it's not that I have a huge problem even learning how to do weight paint. It just feels like how I felt about the armature. It's just like, dude, like I've probably said this in a video I had to delete, but it was just a week of trying to get this armature right. And then the meta rig on here, you would think if it's a human meta rig, it would have all the bones necessary to do some human shit. Like I said, the only thing I could see if it was like different, if you're trying to do like a cat girl and then she got her cat ears, like that's not going to be in the human meta rig. But the human meta rig should have toes that bend, and like you could do the heel and everything, like a human skeleton. But it just got the like a basic rig though. Everything else you have to add. And I'm sitting up there for a whole fucking week getting frustrated. I broke my Rubik's Cube. I'm like, man. Because it's just like, it's almost like you have to find videos of how to do certain body parts, like the hand. Because the hand driver bends, like, gripping. But it doesn't, but it's like bend backs this way too far. And I have to figure out, like, okay, what X, like what axis should it be locked to? And I haven't found that yet because I haven't even been trying to look for it, to be honest. But it's just even the toe rig, the leg rig. And the only saving grace to the whole thing is like once you do one side, you do both of them. That's the only saving grace in the whole thing. But mostly everything else, it just seems like a pain. And I'm like, the weight paint, it won't be that bad. But it's just like, I gotta get into the space of, like, really, like, I have to get into the head space of really getting into that. Because, dude, that whole armature, that was, in my opinion, I feel like that was the worst part of this whole journey. Is the weight? I mean, the armature. That was the worst. If I had to pick one thing, oh, the armature was bad. Because it was like most of it I had to customize it myself. Like I said, if you're trying to do like a cat girl, I mean the only thing really is to make the ears move with the base of the neck. So wherever you move the head, the ears will follow. Or like or if you're trying to do something like a like a humanoid type character. But it was just like, dude, this armature was a beast. And I did I think the last time I looked at it was like June or July, something like that. I haven't really looked at it since then. Like maybe next year I'll get back into it, try to like tweak some things. But as of right now, I'm like, fuck that meta rig, dude. I'm like, fuck that with the longest black dick, dude. I'm talking about my shit. Cause I'm like, I'm not doing that again, son. Not now. Cause it was just too ridiculous. It was just way too much. And then I'm like making sure like the tail is actually right. Nah. Fuck that. That shit's gonna have to wait. It was just too much. It was too radical. I just don't find myself doing that again anytime soon. But I mean, that's pretty much it for these. That's pretty much it for my man. Then I gotta work on his brothers, and I gotta, yeah, I gotta work on his brother. Cause how many of them is it? It's like it's just a lot of them. It's like I said, it's a long story with these dudes and their sister, but the bro, like the other brother. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is what I gotta do. I mean, his braid pattern with the curves are way too intricate. And I was struggling with Nero's braids. Now imagine his. Like, even though I got the rhythm of how to do it again, but it's just too many of them. I mean, there's 43 curves. Hoo-wee. And then I gotta do another version because this is the first one. Then it's this one. So now I'm trying to think, should I do the smaller ones first, like, and then progress like with the medium? Because it would be the ones in the middle, and then the ones on the side, then the two long ones, because that would be the longest, with then the third one in the middle. And then for here will have to be the ones on the side in the middle, then the ones like here, and then the sides. I'm gonna just probably have to do that off camera because it took like an hour just to do Nero's braids, like the whole process of this. And the reason why they all look the same because like for them in particular, it's like, well, how many is it? Like 7 tuplets. Like their mother had 7 kids at once, 7 tuplets or whatever the fuck it's called. Cause it's these 3 and their 4 sisters. Yeah. No, that's his original style. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is his original style. And then with the mohawk. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on Genu off camera. Like in the morning or something. Or start the process tonight and finish in the morning or something. Cause he's gonna take a long time. I mean, one thing I could do is do one side and mirror to the other, but I don't even trust that. I'm gonna just actually have to do it by hand. I'm not even worried about it. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I knew what I was getting into, but it's just looking at it again. It's like, oh shit. But anyway, yeah, I'm about to head out. Ooh-wee. Damn. Anyway, I'm about to head out. See y'all tomorrow around the same time. And I'm out.